I am the Mullet Man. I'm Jeremy Greene of ESPN Radio, and I am joined by Armchair commentary, Mr. David Smith, my Canadian friend. How you doing?
It's bye weeks.
Bye weeks are fun.
Bye weeks are fun.
Bye weeks are fun. Need to make sure the audio's right here. The amount of control that I have is pathetically little when it's just me.
It happens. We deal with it. We are professionals, as I always say.
100%. What's funny is how many people ask me to teach them how to use this system, and I'm like, it's funny that you think I know. I have taught myself all of these things, and I probably don't do it right.
You do it right enough.
One thing I did do, Hoffman said we are crazy loud. Crazy loud is better than the usual very quiet.
We're just wired for sound, fully blasted.
Yeah, we have to. It's very difficult to balance sound with me, which is going into a radio mic that's wired into this system, and then I have to balance out Armchair, who coming through Zoom is just notoriously quiet. Nothing he did; it's just the software's quiet.
Yep, I am fully blasted on my end to make sure we get at least close to what we should be.
Yeah, everything looks good on my end. So if it's too loud, I apologize. Maybe just turn it down a bit. Too loud is a good problem to have. Too quiet is a bad problem because I can't fix that.
Yeah, makes it a little tougher.
One thing that we do right, fantasy football, second place in Battle of the Belts. Tank talk shit, and you made him pay for it.
I, like I mentioned on Sunday, had not been paying a ton of attention to my Battle of the Belt lineups. I was usually going full ceiling plays to all your boomer bust plays. It would be akin to playing a all dog parlay where you know that it's probably not going to hit, but if it does, it's gangbusters. And then Tank said that I'm beating old Armchair, and I said, "Oh, hold my beer. Let me show you what happens when I actually want to play this thing the right way." Just missed out. It wasn't my best lineup, and you didn't play your best lineup on the Battle of the Belt either, but still had a pretty good fantasy week. Did lose in my home league, unfortunately, but I lost to my fiance, so that really is a win.
Yes, I can genuinely say I've never actually lost to Amy, but she has beat a slew of my friends, which I find to be just outrageously funny.
I love it. What was your feeling after last night? Is this on Russ? I need to talk about this because I feel like everybody is just taking a dump all over Wilson, and I don't think it's on him.
The Broncos are just
that offense is bad. It's bad.
They're not a good football team. That's my sweeping declaration. Melvin Gordon blows dead bears. As I tried to tell you, when Javonte Williams got hurt, I tried to caution everybody, do not just assume that Melvin Gordon's going to get this job because he loves to fumble. And they know that, and they don't trust him at all.
That's why I picked up Mike Boone.
And unfortunately, we were right that it would be a portly running back for the Denver Broncos. We just had the wrong one.
Yeah.
Because it's Lat Murray.
How many teams is this for him now?
Let's see. He's played for the Saints, played for the Ravens. Now the Broncos.
Is it just the 4?
I think it's just
3?
4.
It's still I feel like he's always in the mix somewhere.
No Smiles in our YouTube comments said Seattle fleeced Denver. You're 100% right. And if you hearken back to when this trade was made, there was a homeless-looking gent that said, this is going to age like a dairy product.
I am on the record multiple times, recorded, nonetheless, saying that the Broncos will not come anywhere near performing to what their thing is. And everybody keeps asking, well, why isn't Russell showing any urgency? Because he's got a $245 million contract. Mm-hmm. He loves Jesus, and his family loves him. So what does he got to worry about? What are they going to do? Release him?
Well, he has a rock star wife that's just an absolute smoke show. He's got more money than you could shake a stick at. And at the end of the day, this team's just not very good.
Well, it's not Russell do whatever he has to do, but this team is bad, and they keep getting primetime games. So
yeah, another one this week.
Yeah,
they're the 4:00 CBS game this week.
Come on,
and that's not prime time, but that is a prime placement. You want to take a stab at who they play this week?
It can't be anybody good. Jeez, is it Kansas City?
It's the Jets.
No.
Jets.
So
do you know how excited I am? Do you know how excited I am to talk about my New York Jets today?
I feel like someone told you the Jets were going to win, and you were like, the Jets aren't going to win. They're going to jet it up. And you should have known, coming from a Patriot fan, that that's incorrect.
All right. So I believe in the talent. I also have been Charlie Browned by this team so many times.
I know.
I see a path that I take Denver this week. Just throwing that out there.
There's a possibility. It depends on what they do. They showed some promise in the first half and then got away from it. Russ got drilled a couple of times. I will give the Broncos defense credit. They're solid. They're solid.
They're fine. Denver does nothing that tickles my pickle.
No.
They're just it's a very bootsy squad.
Are you selling in? Did you have any Denver shares anywhere? Any Broncos?
Just Cortland
players?
Sutton. That's the only one I wound up with anywhere. And I mean, I'm not selling it. He's been my fourth receiver in a lot of places. And not cousin Colin Green. Asked a question that is very pertinent to me because I have one of these guys everywhere, DeAndre Hopkins.
Little knuck action?
Yes, I have him damn near everywhere, and I'm very happy that he is coming back to the lineup.
Play him. Play him. Play DeAndre Hopkins. If he's available in your league, pick him up because he's going to bolster that offense immediately. I don't know how you feel. I missed the afternoon portion of the ESPN show yesterday, so I don't know how you feel about Robbie Anderson going there. He's never been anything that's been, lighting banks on fire or anything like that. But I feel like this offense is going to play better with Hopkins in the lineup.
So I'm going to say this as clearly as I can about Robbie Anderson. He played for my Jets. We were the ones that made him a thing.
Mm-hmm.
There is a Twitter account that their whole purpose is to translate Robbie Anderson tweets because he's such a dumbass that he cannot tweet coherently. Nothing shocked me. Well, his little tirade in Carolina didn't shock me in the least. It didn't shock me in the least that Arizona was the team that went, ooh, let me fall on that grenade, because apparently they think they need 47 receivers.
Well, with Marquise Brown out indefinitely, I guess that hurts. I don't know if Robbie Anderson was the answer, though.
Well, I mean, so does Cliff Kingsbury just look at this and go, I have to have a slot guy at all times. I have to have a little slotty receiver.
Yeah.
I need a big guy on the outside that's got good hands. And then I need somebody who just runs 9 routes. Is that the Cliff Kingsbury offense?
Cliff Kingsbury runs his offense like he's playing rookie mode on Madden.
Yes, he does.
It is the Cliff Kingsbury uses Ask Madden all day long.
All day.
What play should I run? That's all he's doing, and it's awful. And so, yes, the answer to your question is yes. This is exactly how he sees his team. It's exactly what he thinks he needs to do.
So to answer the question, DeAndre Hopkins is now he's a week in, week out start to me.
Yes.
I'm looking at my rest of season rankings, and I have DeAndre Hopkins I bumped him up with Hollywood going down.
Yeah.
Rest of season, he is my 16.
All right, then.
Well, I mean, this team sucks. They're going to be behind. He's the only receiver that's consistently good.
Yeah.
The thing I hate is this misnomer that with Hollywood Brown, he was going to be the 2. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury is an idiot. He's not that big of an idiot.
I don't think Hopkins would have let him be the 2. I'm going to be honest with you.
Patrick Holt asked about updated standings for Battle of the Belt. They'll be out later today. With Caleb Peak's last day being yesterday, my job just got a lot more fun. So apologies for being an hour later than we planned. Caleb has been gone for 12 hours, and I already miss him.
Yeah.
Because now I'm having to do things that he was asked to do, and none of it's fun.
No. No.
None of it's fun. Let's see. Pennywise asked, which receivers should we be grabbing? Because Diggs and A.J. Brown are on a bye week, and those two with Mark Andrews are my bread and butter. Receiver, Rondale Moore would be my number 1.
He's sitting at something like 40. He's owned in half the leagues, give or take.
I've got him at 46 across the board.
Yeah, 32% for Alec Pierce. I think he's probably someone you need to look at. If he's not owned, I'm going to throw a name out, and it's going to sound crazy because there's 2 of these guys on my list. And it's a matchup thing and a chemistry thing. Wan'Dale Robinson.
Oh, Wan'Dale Robinson's not crazy. He's my 2.
I think Wan'Dale Robinson is an absolute target. He is, in my opinion, going to be the one if he's not already the one in New York, because I don't think Darius Slayton has the rapport. And Wan'Dale Robinson's getting the opportunity to score. Even if Slayton is the one, Robinson's getting the second tier corner, and he's able to get the touchdowns. And I hate to say this, but maybe it's time to start looking at Chase Claypool again if you can get him.
I've heard a lot of people say that, and I cannot wrap my head around that.
He's not. I would prefer, in order, Rondale Moore, Alec Pierce, Wan'Dale Robinson. Those are my 3.
So Wan'Dale's my 2, Pierce is my 3, and I'm with you on Rondale Moore at 1.
Yeah.
The thing with Claypool, I cannot physically understand why people are doing this to themselves. He had 7 targets. He caught all 7 of them. That'll be the biggest game he has all year, and I don't know that it'll be all that close.
Yeah.
He's just one of those players I look at and go, under what circumstances am I ever going to play him? Like, what would have to happen for me to play him?
My week last week where I had no physically able bodies not on a bye, where I had to buy a wide receiver.
I'd say I balance out my bye weeks to such a point that I'm never – well, I shouldn't say never. I'm very rarely ever in bye week hell like that.
I wouldn't have been had injuries not hampered me. I typically have Keenan Allen available, but
his 2-week injuries turned into a 3-monther.
Yeah. How are you feeling about Jahan Dotson? 43% owned across the league. Interesting quarterback situation coming up. I don't know if it's better or worse for him.
Oh, it's certainly not better. At least not with Taylor Heineken.
Is that who they're going with? They're not going Sam Howell?
They're going Taylor Heineken, which is friggin' gross.
Yeah. He'll have some games.
They'll do the Taylor Heineke thing for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the schedule, I mean, I hate to say this because we have a lot of wonderful Washington Commander fans that watch our show. This team's going to be 2-8. The 4 weeks that you're probably going to get Taylor Heineken, you get Green Bay at Indy, Minnesota at Philadelphia.
Yuck.
You're winning exactly none of those. And then it becomes much easier with Houston, Atlanta, and the Giants in back-to-back weeks with a bye week in the middle to go, all right, let's go Sam Howell now.
Let me ask the question about someone that I know that you're going to be low on because he plays for my team. Where are you sitting with Tyquan Thornton?
I have him rostered in Dynasty. I have him in 2 different Dynasty leagues.
I think he's a stash.
It would have to
don't
be a
know if he's
deep
a
league
play.
for me.
Yeah.
It would have to be a deep. You have to be either deep bench or more than 12 teams. But I mean, he's on my list.
I think that he is going to show potential. I don't know what Kendrick Bourne did to upset the delicate balance of the force. He pissed off the supreme leader somewhere because he's not being utilized anymore. And
Also, he's like Elijah Moore.
And I think Nelson Aguilar is not long for this team. I think that they like Thornton better than Aguilar on account of Thornton has hands. Aguilar, unfortunately, always suffered from the dropsies. So I think those two guys are gone, and I think Thornton gets more of an opportunity. Obviously, Jacoby Myers, the standout one for the Patriots, for whatever that's worth.
Oh, no doubt. Jacoby Myers is he's good at the footballs. The only problem is that you're going to have weeks like you had this week where your top 4 receivers in order had 64, 61, 61, 60 yards.
Yep.
Because Bill hates your fantasy team.
Yes, he does.
And hates you for playing it.
Where are you on the Corey Davis, speaking of your Jets? I have 2 guys that I'm interested in, Corey Davis and Sky Moore. Let's start Corey Davis.
Corey Davis has the rapport with Zach Wilson. He always has. Zach trusts him. For whatever reason, Elijah Moore and Zach Wilson have never been on the same page.
That's a problem.
Now, I think the day is coming. It's really hard to figure out. If you're the Jets, you have to be looking at this going, this is working. And so, yeah, I want to get Elijah Moore involved. He literally didn't even appear on the stat sheet this week. Didn't even have a target.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to continue. You've got to get Garrett Wilson, but that's where I'm headed with this. The priority is to get Garrett Wilson right. Elijah Moore is a guy that you want to get right, but if you've got Corey Davis going the way he's going, you get Garrett Wilson right. They're playing a ton of 12 personnel anyway. That was an adjustment this week. Saw more of C.J. Uzomah, which they made it very clear in the offseason is what they want to do.
Yeah.
I never thought I would say that. There's too many mouths to feed with the Jets.
For once.
And they're
Unlike
all young.
the Robbie Anderson years. The Robbie Anderson years were Robbie Anderson and Braxton Berrios for your
Hey, Braxton with his little bleach blonde self, he's still around here. He's still doing stuff.
I know.
The bigger deal for me is the thing with the Jets. I'm not going to trust any of those receivers week in, week out. Corey Davis is the one he has rapport with. He's probably the most trustable. Garrett Wilson's going to have big weeks. I think Elijah Moore is going to have big weeks. This is a very run-first team.
Yeah.
That has a ton of pass catchers.
It's the Breece Hall show at this point.
And Michael Carter.
Yes.
These elements of them on the field together, they touch me in a place that if a woman touched me there, I would go, ooh, that's nice.
Holt wants to know if it's time to move away from Romeo Doubs.
No.
I wouldn't move away from him. My opinion is we're about to see a very run-first Green Bay offense.
I mean, Romeo Doubs had 9 targets this week. He learned – he did that thing I constantly say. He fucked around and found out that DJ Reed is dog.
Yeah, he is.
He dog.
Yeah, he is.
And he's just a little feller, too. He's barely taller than Tank, and he's just a dog. Yeah, I'm not worried about Romeo Doubs.
No.
And if you look at the schedule moving forward, he's about to have several big weeks.
Absolutely.
He's actually one of my favorite plays this week against the Commanders.
Is he your 2 in Green Bay?
Yes, Lazard's the one.
Yeah.
And that makes me like Doubs more because Doubs is getting number 2 coverage, Lazard's getting 1.
Right, and the ghost of Randall Cobb is sitting around there somewhere.
He's hurt and going to be gone for a while.
Yeah.
He hurt the ankle. It wasn't as bad as I originally thought, but it's apparently not good.
Ankles aren't good injuries to have when you're a wide receiver. You have to run the field.
You know, I love when I hit stupid buttons because I did. I hit a stupid button. You remember that thing I said about I don't always know what I'm doing here?
Yeah, well.
Case in point.
Would you say Herbert had a bad game too yesterday? Sure. He's got a rib injury. He was missing a receiver. Their offensive front looked bad at times.
Justin Herbert had the most passing attempts without a touchdown in the last 20 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
He was fine. The Chargers did not do anything last night that really made me go, yeah, however.
Josh Palmer.
Who was the leading receiver for the LA Chargers last night?
Joshua Palmer. Someone was very high on the Palmer season.
Just because he's good at the footballs. Josh Palmer is a good receiver. I do not give a damn what anybody says. And if Keenan Allen's going to remain out, he's rosterable in fantasy leagues.
Absolutely. An actual fantasy question. Start Taysom Hill or Hawkinson. Also Seahawks versus Chargers predictions.
Let's see. Let me look to the ranks. I know what I want to say, and I'm very confident that this is the direction I'm going to go.
Is it Hawkinson?
No, it's Taysom Hill. That's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, Taysom Hill is boomer bust a lot of the time. But this week they have... Who do the Saints play this week?
They play the Cardinals on Thursday Night Football.
Fantastic. Yeah, Taysom Hill.
Another Gnarls Barkley primetime game.
Yeah, Seahawks Chargers predictions. I don't know. The NFL.
Let's see. I'm really leaning towards Seattle here.
I think you have to.
I mean, it's early in the week because I haven't had the chance to deep dive anything. I don't even have preliminary line. I don't even have a preliminary line on that game yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in LA, but that doesn't mean shit. They're gonna have to give away Chargers tickets and fucking cereal boxes to get anybody to go to the games. Why did we feel the urge to put two teams in LA? I know I bitch about this a lot, but
I don't know. Makes no damn sense.
There's pretty girls and beaches, and nobody gives a shit.
It's way too nice. Too much other stuff to do.
A satisfied Browns fan. As of now, I'm leaning Seahawks, but that may change over the course of the week. And the Taysom Hill thing is just a ceiling. Yes. I'm looking to the lines this week going, I believe you're going to just shoot out with the Cowboys. There's a possibility that you just get dogged.
Yeah, I agree. Alex S. Start 2, Dameon Pierce, Jamal Williams, Najee, or Kenneth Walker.
Dameon Pierce, Kenny Walker every week. I don't care who they're playing.
Correct. I think we've seen – this is Kenneth Walker's backfield from now on. Rashad Penny can come back, but his bones are made of styrofoam, so he will not be back. And when he comes back, I still think it's Kenneth Walker's. I think it's Kenny Walker's backfield.
Kenny Walker is very, very talented. And they trust him more than I thought they would.
They let him go. And he showed why he was so highly regarded.
4.5 yards a carry. That doesn't suck. Doesn't give you much as a pass catcher, but he doesn't really have to.
No. He's I don't want to say he's Derrick Henry, but he does the same things Derrick Henry does. You're not going to get a ton of pass catching out of him, but he's going to run for 100 yards a game. You're going to see 70 plus out of him most games, I would think.
I would agree with
that. Someone commented not on this. I saw it on the interwebs. How did someone let Dameon Pierce get to the 4th round? Because he's a running back.
Yes, and because he barely got half the workload at Florida, which scared people.
Stop trying to pretend like you saw this coming, because they were showing a highlight where he lost his helmet and still ran into the end zone. I love Dameon Pierce. No doubt play every week. If he's healthy and able, play him.
I know somebody that saw it coming.
Yeah, I bet you do. At ESPN Draft Nerd.
I remember him at Florida just going, please don't give him the ball. Every time they played, or when he played Florida State, I mean, he didn't have a ton of tote against us, but by God, when he did, he was terrifying.
Goff or Prescott? I'm assuming that's Goff, not Jeff. But Goff or Prescott?
I'm certainly taking Dak over Jeff because I don't know who Geoff is.
Jeff?
This week I kind of want to say Goff. From a sheer statistical standpoint, I kind of want to say Goff.
Yeah, I'm for it.
I mean, people lose their shit about Dak this week, and the matchup is as good as it gets. Do not get me wrong. I think Dallas at some point is going to figure out you're better when you run.
You would think so.
That's why I said what I said yesterday about Cooper Rush. I'm not of the belief that Cooper Rush is close talent-wise to Dak Prescott. The play call changes to such a point. That's the reason they've been so good.
Yeah.
And then Dak comes back and they treat this like Madden with receivers that half of them shouldn't be in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. B. Malik, Pickens has been a stash for me all year. No QB is an issue.
Pickens is fine moving forward.
Yeah.
I have no George Pickens rest of the year. He's in my top 35. I remember that much.
Yeah.
He is 35.
He's going to be fine. He's going to get the target share. Bench Derek Carr versus Houston or Herbert versus the Sea Chickens from Paul Richardson.
That's a good one. I'm going Herbert. That's too good of a matchup. Seattle's just look. The team is good. The defense is not.
Yeah,
they're playing inspired football, but they're still one of the worst defenses in the NFL.
That I think comes down to that's a gut feel on that. I think you're fine either way. I think Derek Carr is going to have a good game too. Houston's not all that great.
Herbert will most likely be my DraftKings quarterback this week. Just throwing that out there.
Herbert will. I don't know if you know this about Herbert. He throws the ball a lot.
A lot.
So you're probably better off playing Herbert there. Is it time to get rid of Dobbins from West Virginia Willie?
No, but you don't feel good about it. I don't know what the fuck is going on with running backs with the Baltimore Ravens.
I don't know what's going. You could stop with the running backs. Just take that out. I don't know what the fuck is going on with the Baltimore Ravens.
Period. That is a weird, difficult to understand team.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense.
And somehow this was a Kenyon Drake week, a guy that they didn't seem to trust 2 weeks ago at all. And then he leads the team in carries. Doesn't make a damn lick of sense.
Nick Perrone, should I drop Russell Wilson? I have Goff and Jimmy G.
Yes.
What are you waiting for?
If Russell Wilson's name was anything else, you would not even be considering
that. Before last night, Mitch Trubisky and Russell Wilson had a similar QBR. They were basically like neck and neck. And that should tell you everything you need to know. If you had no hesitation about getting rid of Mitch, you should have no hesitation about getting rid of Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson through 6 weeks is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 21st in quarterback points per game.
Had to use fingers and toes.
I did. Yeah, because the list the list doesn't the math didn't math there.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's not a good fantasy play at this point. Unless they are going to say, all right, do that thing that got you here. He is not rosterable at all.
No. Feel comfortable dropping him until he shows you something otherwise. He'll be available. And if anybody's picking him up, it's strictly because they're a Seahawk fan or they are absolutely desperate or they think that it's 2013.
Yeah. Or they think there's a resurgence coming. They will play him, and you're almost typhooning one of your competitors with one of your players.
Yeah. What's up with Bateman and Waller from Chauncey Major?
Bateman's been dead for quite some time.
Yeah.
I mean, it just needs to come back. It was good to see Isaiah Likely. Let's go, Isaiah Likely. Couple targets this week. That's the Mark Andrews show. I cannot trust anything in Baltimore that's not Mark Andrews.
That's fair.
And Waller has always had this problem. He is made of popsicle sticks. And he gets a boo-boo, and he has to go sit down.
He is currently questionable with hamstring, but obviously we are early in the week. Just make sure you keep on the ESPN shows throughout the week. And, of course, we're with you on Sundays to give you all the breakdowns and inactives long before kickoff.
Are you available?
Go ham?
Are you available for the Saturday fantasy show this week?
Let me check. I will get back to you.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, we have to audible this week because I will be in Charlotte going to see Tank's shitty Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right.
Probably crushing domestic lights with Kenny Ford on the way down. Kenny Ford was a legendary high school football coach here in this area. We have never hung out per se, but I'm very much looking forward to this.
I'm sure it'll be a time. Plus, the Buccaneers are liable to get lit up, so that's fantastic. That's a 2-win.
It's free beer and a suite, and I don't have to drive.
Yeah. Rob Johnson says LA doesn't deserve a team, and D-Hop going to go ham? ?
Yes on D-Hop, and yes on LA doesn't deserve a team.
B. Malik says it's an extra home game for the Raiders in
LA.
It's
an extra home game for anybody that plays there.
Yes. Not Cousin Colin Green says he doesn't physically see how the Cardinals are going to stop Taysom Hill or Olave.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't either.
Goff or Geno from Matt Hoffman. And Geno or Rodgers, 2 separate year-long leagues.
I like Rodgers a lot this week. A lot. I would go Rodgers over Geno, Geno over Goff.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
It feels weird that Geno Smith is a week in, week out fantasy play.
You would have never guessed start of the season. J2 Nice, start Matt Ryan this weekend. Other options are Marcus Mariota, Trevor Lawrence, Jimmy G, and Tua if he plays. I think Tua's
back this week.
Yeah.
Tua's back this week. Tua would be my play.
I think Tua has to be the play if he's healthy.
I think the Matt Ryan thing was a fluke.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they're going to go. I mean, this is a divisional lead game, right?
Yes.
Winner this takes the division, so that means it's probably going to be a run-heavy gross fest.
And isn't that weird with all the gnashing of teeth we did about the Colts and the Titans at the beginning of the year? Here we are. They play each other for the lead in the division.
Yeah.
You know that thing that I often say about don't overreact to the most recent thing you've seen? That's why. All tends to revert to the mean.
Rob Johnson with a flex play question. Travis Etienne, Zeke, or Ramondre? It's Ramondre for me, and it's not all that close.
It's Ramondre for me, especially if there's no Damian Harris. Etienne's good in the limited amount of tote he's getting. He's just not getting nearly enough. And I don't know why.
I think Damian Harris is a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was kind of deferring to you there without actually asking the question.
I feel like it's a couple of weeks. It's also a Monday night game. I feel like the Patriots love to run the ball right now. That's their identity. They have an identity for the first time since Brady left. And actually, it was before that, to be honest with you, because they realistically haven't had this for a long time. So I think that I think he's a couple of weeks.
Can I just say this for the and you know, Jags fans are not going to love that I say this, but it's the truth. You fucking deserve to lose that game. The way you used the talent on your team, you deserved to lose that game.
Yeah.
12 combined carries and targets for Travis Etienne. Sit down.
10 for James Robinson, who should be traded out of there immediately for help for that team.
It's 13 for James Robinson. He had 12 carries and a catch.
And a catch, sorry.
Which is just Damn you, Doug Peterson. I fell for you. I knew I shouldn't have, and I did, and I was wrong.
Rich Avila with a couple of questions. Gallup versus Detroit or B-Rob Jr. versus Green Bay, half PPR.
B-Rob Jr. usage. Well, now that I think about that, I'm still going B-Rob.
I think it's B-Rob.
He has a better floor.
Is Greg Dulcich viable? This is excellent because now I can talk about my tight end pick for the week.
Is he viable? Absolutely.
Yes, he's viable. He's one of the living, breathing assets they have on that team.
He's real good at the footballs, too.
He's 1.2% owned.
That's very little.
Yeah. Daniel Bellinger is is the tight end that I'm targeting this week in waiver pickups. He doesn't necessarily get a ton of targets. I think he had 5 catches, like 38 yards, but he is a red zone threat every time they're down there, and Daniel Jones trusts him, which should tell you if the ball isn't going to Saquon, it's probably going to Bellinger. Someone that I'm looking at is where are your thoughts on Danny B?
This week as a tight end pickup?
Yeah.
He would be my 3. He'd be behind Dulcich and old Bob Tunyon.
Robert Tunyon only 34% owned across all leagues.
I mean, it'll be inconsistent, but he is a target that Rodgers trusts. And as they keep piling up losses, that's going to matter more and more and more and more.
Christie, pick up Broncos, Titans, Cardinals, Jets, or Chiefs defense. It's the Jets defense.
The Jets
not
by
even close.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's the Jets.
Those other teams can't do much. Jets are number 1.
So B. Malik asked a question ahead of that. The Raiders are favored to win 11 of their next 12 games. The exception is the Chiefs at home. Trying to throw some money on them making the playoffs. I don't hate it. I mean, I don't know what the odds on that are right now. I'm going to assume they're rather high.
He said odds are juiced up.
Let's see. Let's go to old betus.com and see what kind of numbers I can get on this.
Satisfied Browns fans, you guys are going to be the only 2 in the stadium.
Oh, no doubt. Oh, without a doubt. We're going to be at a suite drinking free beer, and I'm fine with that. I'll tell you what I like with the Raiders is over 7.5 wins right now. You get that at even money.
That's not bad.
Nope. I don't mind that in the least. As of right now, I can't get a playoff future.
Interesting.
Oddly enough, I can't get one on any AFC team.
Really?
That's odd.
That's very odd.
That's odd. Avil asked about T-shirts. We will have some of those. We just signed a deal with a guy that's going to be doing our shirts. We had somebody else that did it, and he sold his company, and so we had to outsource it and find a new one. But we will have a slew of those in the coming weeks.
They're coming.
Alex S., how did you like the Wilkes game script? The defense actually has outscored the offense through week 6. I mean, I didn't have a problem. I liked the Robbie Anderson thing. If he's a malcontent, get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do to make the team right.
I don't need that. I don't need that kind of negativity around a team that's very young.
You don't need that negativity anywhere, and that's something that's to be said about like championship winning teams across all sports. Locker room chemistry is more important than you think. It's how the Raptors won a championship. Kawhi Leonard had something to do with it. It's how a ton of hockey teams win. Talent is important, but you need to have a team that gels together. It's why those Giants teams were so impossible in the playoffs. You can't just have a bunch of guys who are full of themselves. It's why the Arizona Cardinals are typically trash.
Look, Carolina's going to have the number 1 pick in this draft. I genuinely see no way that that's not going to happen. So this is a new day for the franchise, and I think Steve Wilkes represented himself well.
Yeah. For what it's worth, on Bet365, plus 320 for the Raiders to make the playoffs.
Those are not bad odds.
No. Favorite QB streamers?
I'm assuming that's for this week.
Yeah, I would assume.
I don't mind Garoppolo. Garoppolo would probably be my favorite. Garoppolo's probably my favorite. Or Tua, if somebody tapped on Tua.
I don't trust anyone else. Like some of the quarterbacks that are out here right now, Matt Ryan, I think that's
that shit was a fluke.
Justin Fields, not a real quarterback.
Yeah, and playing New England this week. Good luck with that.
Danny Dimes is probably the 3 behind Mariota and Garoppolo.
Yeah. That was another one that I wanted to mention.
Winston, maybe.
I don't think he gets that job back. I think they will go with Andrew Dalton.
They'll run Red Rocket into the ground. I wouldn't touch Zach Wilson or Mac Jones or Kenny Pickett or Bailey Zapp or Taylor. I'm going to go crush some Heinekens. I think that you're probably right there. So, Joel Hernandez II, thinking of picking up Thornton or Josh Reynolds. I'll drop my Jalen Warren stash.
I would go Thornton.
Yeah, same.
I'd go Thornton. Josh Reynolds to me does not have any value when everybody's healthy, and we're getting close enough to Jameson Williams that's a very he's got his stock has 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on a banana peel.
Yeah.
But I can understand Tyquan Thornton is worth dropping Jalen Warren.
Yeah, that's an absolute flyer.
Dude Man Bro asked with Miles Sanders on a bye, do I start Dobbins or Algier? My response is going to be, do you have to?
Yeah, Algier if you have to.
Because I don't trust either one of them. Neither.
Get Deion Jackson?
The one thing I will say, all right, I'm not super deep into ranks for this week. I see a path that I'm going to be aggressively on J.K. Dobbins this week. Cleveland blows dead bears against the run.
Yes, they do.
And if I'm John Harbaugh, do I not use this matchup to get them right? This is a matchup where you should be able to beat Cleveland just because you showed up and half-ass played.
Correct. They've been gashed.
You know what? I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going J.K. Dobbins.
I think you've talked me into it.
I love doing that specifically on DraftKings because I guarantee you his price has never been cheaper. Put it this way, I'm still scrolling. He is 5,200 this week.
Jesus.
Yeah. If he's active, he will be a player that I am all over. And Dude Man Bro said yes. Stevenson's my other starter, as well he should be. Yeah, I'm going J.K. Dobbins this week.
Yeah, you've talked me into it.
Don't you love when that happens?
I've done it to you before plenty of times.
And absolutely. If you've watched our fantasy content for an extended period of time, usually when we talk each other into things, it goes quite nicely.
Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah. Jets defense. There were a couple of people that threw the Jets defense into their lineups, and they're very happy they did.
100%. Avila or Paul Richardson, excuse me. Flex Pickens or Zay Jones. This week, I'm going to say Zay Jones. I like him way more than I should.
I think I'm Pickens this week.
I firmly see them getting just smoked by Miami.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm probably on Pickens too now that I think about it.
Zay Jones just hasn't had
Zay Jones has the safer floor, but he has no real upside.
Correct.
So it depends on what you need. Do you need the safe play? Can you withstand a 4? Because that's entirely possible coming from George Pickens.
Definitely.
Avila asked, should I go get Renfro? I believe so.
If he's available, yeah.
And he is available in a slew of places. I'm just one that I don't let my preseason notions die this easily. And I struggle to believe he's going to be this irrelevant.
We're week 7.
Yeah.
Like, we're week 7. We're not in the, like, panic button mode yet on some guys.
Nick Perone asked, would you pick up Tyquan Thornton over Chase Claypool?
Yes.
I would too. This week, my receiver rankings is Rondale 1, Wandale 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird to say. Alec Pierce 3.
Yep.
And then I think Tyquan Thornton's probably my 4. I didn't go any deeper than that, but that's
Tyquan Thornton is owned in 1% of leagues. You can go get him for free right now.
100%.
And if you have space on your bench, if you're someone like me who has shares of injured guys, you should definitely look into it. Go say, I'm dropping Marquise Brown right now. I'm not telling you for who, because this might be no, it's not. It's in my home league. I'm dropping Marquise Brown right now because I don't think he's coming back anytime soon, and I need it. I need the guy. That's it.
He's 6 weeks. I don't know that I can advise dropping Hollywood.
I'm dropping him.
Although I understand the theory, because if you look at the Arizona Cardinals schedule, they could be god-awful by the time he comes back.
6 weeks, and I need wide receivers now, so making the play.
6 weeks, and they play the Saints, the Vikings, the Seahawks, the Rams, the 49ers, and the Chargers. In the 6 weeks that we know he's out.
Yeah,
I mean, this team could be sitting at 2-10. And if that's the case, then he probably just doesn't come back at all. I still can't advise doing it, but I understand what you're saying.
This is me doing it. I'm not telling anybody else to do it. I'm just doing it.
Not cousin Colin Green asked, would you start DK or Waddle this week?
Ooh, Waddle. If Tua's back.
I want to start them both.
Yeah.
They're both wide receiver 1s for me this week. Because J.C. Jackson has been dog water.
Yes, he has.
He has. Good Lord, he has sucked. What is it about Patriot corners that they leave Bill and all of a sudden they forget how to play?
It's the system.
He's not wrong.
They're only good in the system. That's why they look so good. He's a talented quarter. It's just nobody else understands what they're doing. They get him out there and they're like, all right, go do what you did with Bill. And he's like, what do you mean? What do you call the defense?
Rob Johnson says, do you think William Jackson gets traded? I do. I think there's going to be a lot of trades, if I was being really honest with you.
I think there's probably going to be an active trade deadline for once.
It will be more active than it's been in the past.
Yeah, usually trade deadline is not the active season for the NFL, but I think that this season may be different. There are like 3 really elite teams, and there are like 25 in the middle, and then a couple of bottom feeders. Like, there's a ton of teams that are in the middle that could reasonably make a shot at the playoffs, and then you get in, you don't know what's going to happen.
Avila asked 2 back-to-back, Hurst or Dulcich. That's Hayden Hurst by a lot to me.
Yeah.
Dulcich is still a speculative ad. It could go well. It could be completely irrelevant. And then he asked Alec Pierce or George Pickens for the rest of the season.
Alec Pierce.
I would agree. Chauncey Major said I'm all over the Jets defense this week. I think that's a good call.
Rob Johnson points out 28 targets for Pierce the last 4 games.
That doesn't suck. Yeah, it doesn't suck. Look, we knew somebody was going to have to be a real life, living, breathing target, and it seems to be Alec Pierce.
Yeah.
B. Malagas, should I put in Brian Robinson in my flex for DJ Moore or Pickens?
Don't start DJ Moore.
I can't advise DJ Moore. I don't think he's going to be in Carolina, though. I really don't.
No, he's not. I think I like B-Rob over Pickens there.
I do too. I tend to, if it's close, which that is, I tend to lean on the running back.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chauncey Majors, flex Dubs or Juju? This week I'm going Dubs. I don't have to look.
Yeah, it's Dubs.
Romeo Dubs is going to be in damn near every DraftKings lineup I put out this week.
It's going to be fun. Dubs has a good. This is a good week for Green Bay.
I'm
just going to throw it out.
I'm not going to say I like everything for Green Bay, but I do think they are going to get right this week.
I think they have to get right this week. Otherwise, they're in a whole hell of a lot of world to hurt here.
B. Malik asked, top trades you foresee. I'm real glad you asked that question. Tomorrow on the ESPN Radio Show. Today we're doing power rankings. So at 3 o'clock, 3 Eastern today, we will be doing all 32 teams. The number next to my Jets. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice and low.
Am I going to be pleased with the number next to my Patriots?
Better
than last week? I'm not going to hate it.
Probably more than you think.
They're going to keep doing things, and then lose in the playoffs to Buffalo, and that's okay.
Probably more than you think. Let's see. Tyler Cunningham told me to look in the Discord.
Oh yeah, he's got a need a defense this week.
Oh yeah,
Jets are there, but I have to drop one and move Robinson Jr. off IR. Which two do you like least? Robinson, Jamal Williams, Cooks, Brian Robinson Jr.
I would try to make a trade. You're in one of those situations where I'm trying to trade 3 assets for one because none of those are droppable players.
No.
And I'll go ahead and tell you there's not a defense in the NFL that I would hold. I'm not holding 2 defenses under any stretch of the imagination.
No. You don't need to.
There's not a defense in the league that I'm holding. I don't give a damn who it is.
I've been streaming my defense weekly.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a committed defense in any league.
Without issue.
The difference between the Buffalo Bills, who are number 1 in the NFL,
mm-hmm.
and the Houston Texans, who are tied for 20th, is 4 points a week. Kickers and defenses, they do not matter. But to answer B. Malik's question, trades that I want to see before the deadline, I'm going to fix every team in the NFL with one trade tomorrow on the ESPN Radio Show.
I love it.
Joel Hernandez II. Corey Davis or Zay Jones rest of the season? It's Corey Davis for me, but it's close.
Yes.
The rapport with Zach Wilson's just something that I can't unsee. I like both. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
Eno Benjamin really or Justin Herbert or Justin Herbert, Khalil Herbert.
I want to say it's Khalil Herbert, but it might be Eno Benjamin. And
I can't get on board with Eno Benjamin. He just sucks.
No.
Against one of the worst teams one of the worst defenses in the NFL, he had 18 touches total, and he had 65 yards. Whoopee woo. Yeah, I'm going Khalil Herbert. Even with David Montgomery, I don't care. He's at least talented. The Eno thing went exactly how I thought it would.
Yeah.
More running with Kyler, more manufactured touches for Rondale Moore, and everybody's going to duke in their pants about Eno Benjamin because he's a starter in the league, but he's not any good.
Yeah.
And Cliff Kingsbury has shown a proclivity to just not trust running backs. He gives you one shot, and if you piddle on him, he'll never trust you again. Let's see. Got just a few minutes left here, so if there's any more questions, throw those out in the chat. We'll get to them as quickly as we can. Ezekiel Elliott or Dubs this week, half-point PPR?
Oh. I think it's Zeke in a half-point.
In a half-point, I would agree. Full PPR, I'd go Dubs.
Yeah, and the half point, I think it's Zeke. The matchup is nice for them.
Chris D. I only have Mike Williams and Christian Kirk, but I have Eckler, Damian Pierce, Ken Walker, Rashad White, Brian Robinson, Khalil Herbert. Which wide receiver would you target, and who should I give up? I'm going to let you answer this first because I have a slightly different take from
I don't know who you're like. If you're looking for a wide receiver in trade, God, who is upside? You throw me off here because I'm never looking at trades.
See, I want to find upside down value. So I'm looking at Michael Thomas, Romeo Dubs, DJ Moore. I would make a speculative add on DJ Moore because I do think he's going to be on another team before this year's over.
If you can get yourself, a Rondale Moore would be good. A good ad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's an issue. Keenan Allen, if he's available in trade, might not be.
Keenan Allen's a good one too, because whoever has him is probably ready to just
dump.
They're probably pulling their fingernails off right now. Oh, he's going to miss 2 weeks. 6 weeks later.
Yeah. I would say that's probably where I would go.
And by the way, I'm not under any stretch trading Damian Pierce or Kenny Walker.
T. Higgins? The Chiggins?
I mean, I don't mind that.
You probably could package Herbert and Rashad White for T. Chiggins.
And with your running backs, I'm going to say something that sounds really stupid, but I fully believe it. Austin Eckler is currently, third?
Yeah.
He's the number one running back in PPR scoring.
Yes.
I would trade Austin Eckler before I would trade Damian Pierce or Ken Walker.
I wouldn't trade Walker or Pierce either.
Under any circumstances.
If you're going to trade Eckler,
and you could get something formidable for Eckler.
Shoot for the moon. There's no reason to, I don't know why you would not shoot for anyone not in the top 10. Shoot for AJ Brown.
Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelce. Mean, you can get 2 high-level pieces for Austin Eckler.
Yeah, I would say so. Probably get yourself somewhere in the top 15.
B. Malik asked, the Raiders just signed Tavon Campbell for at corner. Is he any good? He's just a depth piece. He's fine. Nothing to write home about. I didn't think that was his first name. Oh, no, it is. You should know a little more about him because he's a Canadian.
You would think so. We don't. Usually what happens is Canada gets a spot on an NFL roster, and our version of ESPN called TSN, which is it's just an affiliate network. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They will show highlights of the game, and they will highlight the Canadian players. So I know all sorts of things about Chase Claypool that I didn't necessarily want.
Indeed. Yeah, he came into the league with the Jets. And I'll be 100% honest with you, he had one of those very stereotypical futures contract, didn't do jack shit that I even remember. I remember the name, and I didn't remember it that well because I thought it was Kevon Vaughn. So I thought it started with a K, not a T. So that should tell you how much he did in his time with my New York Jets. Pretty nondescript.
Yeah.
Let's see. Start Aaron Jones versus Washington? Absolutely.
Yes.
Dustin Waltman, Goff or Daniel Jones this week? This is going to sound weird, but I'm going Daniel Jones.
It's Danny Dimes.
Alex S. said DJ Moore's going nowhere. He's the only person in the locker room who's a consistent leader or base. Debo Samuel value. I'm going to say this in the most non-committal way possible. We're an affiliate of the Panthers. I have really good friends in that front office, and that's not what I hear. Just remember, I was the guy that said Robbie Anderson's playing his last game for the Panthers, and he didn't make it out of the next 24 hours.
It's true.
Now, I didn't expect him to melt down on the sideline. That was not what I thought was going to happen.
That's a surprise. It's nice.
It's nice. But yeah, Robbie was. Look, Carolina is currently looking at players that are not universal fits.
Right.
Ask yourself this question. If I'm right and the target to be the next coach is Ken Dorsey, name me the player that's played for the Buffalo Bills in the last 4 years that reminds you of DJ Moore. I'll wait. There's not one.
I don't think there is.
It's not what that offense is predicated on.
No.
And so if you can get high in value, if you can get a 1 right now for Green Bay, you can. Yeah. At worst, it's a 2. And you use that value to let a coach build his team the way they want to. That is the most attractive way to do this if you're the Carolina Panthers.
And then it's a good job.
Bingo.
Then it's a job you want instead of, fuck them picks.
Well, I mean, the bad thing is that Carolina's probably going to have the number 1 pick, and a coach is going to look at this and go, I have the number 1 pick, and then I have 3 for the rest of the draft. That's going to be hard for me to implement my system and my culture, and it's just not as attractive. So you want to go get some draft picks. Golfer Daniel Jones. We answered that one, didn't we?
Yes, Daniel Jones. And then we got Calvin Joyner with the last one. Oh, no, Avila's got one first.
Hurts, Waddle, Debo Eckler, DeAndre Swift, Everett, the Jaguars defense, and Tyler Bass. Flexes in the air. I'm 8th in a 12-man. Wow. You're 8th in a 12-man league with that?
Yuck.
It will regress to the mean. That team is too good.
Yeah.
And our last question of the day, Kelvin Joyner. Bye week's killing my receiver depth. Any names to keep an eye out for? Ones specifically that we've already said. Rondale Moore, Alec Pierce, Wan'Dale Robinson. Tyquan Thornton. It's getting into the, hey, can I sneak Jameson Williams into my IR slot? And then if you have to go deeper than that, Corey Davis and Josh Palmer.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, NBA starts tonight. You got any bangers coming up today? Any picks?
Yes. Yes, our NBA picks start today. I am doing a little imaging for that. And I'm going to tease it with, I know definitively you'll find it funny. Because you and I have talked about the fact that I have to make NBA picks, and I genuinely could not give 2 shits about the NBA.
It's factual information.
I am literally just throwing out bangers to make you money for games that I am under no circumstances going to watch.
This is my favorite time of year on the show, where Tank asks you to talk about the NBA for 35 minutes, and we'd rather do power rankings for the rest of it.
Can I tell you a little story?
Yeah, let's do it.
So with the way the structure of this show is done now, we may never do another full segment on the NBA.
Good.
I can tell you we won't do one on Major League Baseball. Now that Caleb Peake's not here, I'm not doing it. Yeah. We've just realized you don't care.
It's not going to happen. It's not really a big deal.
We've just learned you do not care. That's where it's at.
Yeah. We got 2 more questions, I think, in here. Waddle, Debo, or Higgins, pick 2.
Waddle and Debo. Begrudgingly.
I think I'm with you there. Higgins is definitely someone to keep an eye on, though. And then Mooney or Rondale? Rondale.
Yeah. Basically, the Ondales are going to be my they will always be targets for me. Whether it's Ron or Juan, I like the Ondales.
And just a heads up to everybody, if you wanted to ask us a question but didn't get the question, go ahead and hit that little join button. Join the House of Reprehensibles. You can get onto the Discord. Jeremy and I are there all the time. You can shoot us your questions for a low price. So let us win you your leagues. Don't forget to join. Look, I'm getting good at this thing.
You are. And you might get advice from me 4 containers of sake deep, as somebody found out last night. Drunken advice is the best advice.
Absolutely.
Before we get out of here, B. Malik said, the NFL is better than golf, is better than baseball, is better than local women's cricket, is better than watching paint dry, is better than NBA basketball. And I'm not going to lie to you, I kind of agree.
Yeah.
But I will throw out the bangers for you to make the money, and then just don't watch it.
That's my plan always.
It works. For the Canadian David Smith of Armchair Commentary, find him on the Twitter machine, always putting out spaces and things on Twitter. Just a fucking bright guy. All right, he knows a lot about a lot of things. Me, I know a lot about a few things and a little about most things. But you can find me on Twitter at ESPN Draft Nerd. We will be here at 3 o'clock this afternoon doing NFL Power Rankings. Be sure to click that subscribe button. You'll see all the things we do around here. As always, we're brought to you by Ingles Markets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, and we will see you this afternoon.